Liverpool 0, Manchester United 0. An incredibly frustrating, somewhat embarrassing and dreadful performance by Liverpool Football Club. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. Yep, this is your not so instant match reaction to Liverpool's goalless stalemate with Manchester United at Anfield of all places, with a Liverpool side looking to regain top spot after losing it to Arsenal earlier on in the day, with Arsenal winning their game against Brighton. Liverpool were looking to regain that top spot, regain their stance at the top of the table going into this weekend's round of Premier League fixtures. And they failed to do so against, of all teams, Manchester United. It was a warning that I had said for the past few weeks now would be coming, and I was found out to be true. I had warned Liverpool that if you continue to play poorly but grind out results, whilst it may seem good, and obviously it's great to win those types of games, it's not fully sustainable long-term wise, and eventually you will get found out. Eventually you will get caught out, and that is exactly what happened in this game. Of today of all days, of this game of all games, Liverpool got found out against Manchester United that you can't always play poorly and get away with it. Diego Dallo was sent off in the latter stages of the game for a second bookable offence for dissent. We'll talk about Michael Oliver. We will talk about Michael Oliver because it was a shocking decision, and it was also pretty hypocritical of what should have happened maybe to Darwin Núñez earlier on in the same game. We'll talk about Virgil van Dijk's comments, because whilst I somewhat agree with what he was saying about one team was only in it to win it, it seemed to touch a nerve with Roy Keane, which I found amusing, but I also have issue with Roy Keane as well. And we'll go on to that a little bit later as well. We'll talk about the game, we'll talk about the comments, we'll talk about everything else. Before we go any further, I would like to remind you all to please like the video, subscribe if you're new. Both things are always and forever greatly appreciated. And also, if you'd like to get involved in the comment section down below, show a lot of interesting thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it. That'll make for interesting and great reading. And that's what I want to hear from you all, so do get involved down there. But without further ado, let's get on with this not-so-instant match reaction to Liverpool drawing 0-0 with Manchester United and the points being shared. Look, Manchester United, first and foremost, deserve credit. They set out their game plan. We knew exactly how they were going to play. They played the way that they wanted to play. They played their game and not our game. And they ultimately came away with something that they deserved, because we didn't play our game. We were not ruthless enough. We didn't have that killer instinct enough. We were not prolific enough. And that's ultimately why we failed to get anything from this game. This is down to us. We should not be drawing to this Manchester United side. They are shambolic. They are low on confidence. They are short of confidence. They are not great. They are not good. They are poor. Even though they're sixth, even though they're in the top six, top seven maybe, somehow they're that high. I don't understand how. But even though they're there, we know that as a footballing side, they're not that good. And we should have absolutely wiped the floor with them. And everybody was expecting it. Everybody was expecting Liverpool to wipe the floor with Manchester United today. I had an element of caution within me that said that maybe today is the day that the stars align and Liverpool don't play as well and United get all the luck in the world to get something from this game. And I wouldn't say it was all luck. There was a bit of luck. Obviously, they had to ride the luck of Liverpool not being prolific enough in front of goal, which happened. Of course it did. But at the same time, you get what you deserve. And Liverpool got a point out of the game, which is the least that they deserved, and probably the most that they deserved, because they were poor in front of goal. If anybody out there is thinking that this is a good result for Liverpool, I'd love to know why. This is a United side that were there for the taking. This was a United side that have been poor for most of this season. This is a United side that some of the bigger teams in the division have been used as whipping boys. Or some of the big teams in the division, should I say, rephrase that, have been used as whipping boys. I would love to know why this is a good result, especially with it being at Anfield of all places, a place where Liverpool have absolutely slaughtered Manchester United in the past in recent games. Love to know how this is a good result. There shouldn't be a single Liverpool fan happy with this result, in my opinion. I think there may be. But ultimately, we should have absolutely hammered these lot into the ground. The only silver lining from this is that Erik ten Hag gets to stay on as Manchester United manager beyond this point. There was obviously rumours and talk that maybe his position is becoming unstable, and a big loss here may have ultimately tipped the scales in the favour of sacking him. But that obviously now probably won't happen because of this result. Thanks, Liverpool. We shouldn't really care about that. No, I'm digressing. Ultimately, shocking performance. Absolutely shambolic. Absolutely pathetic. Absolutely ridiculous. Liverpool should have won this game. Liverpool should have gone into this game with the right mentality, right character, right killer instinct, right consistency, and just blew Manchester United out the water completely. But they didn't. And United get something from this game, fair play to them. But I did say at the beginning, if Liverpool go into this game thinking it's already 3 points in the bag, if Liverpool go into this game thinking that it's only Manchester United, we've won this game easy, they need to think again. Because we did this with Luton earlier on in the season. We did the exact same thing with Luton earlier on in the season. We thought that was 3 points. We thought we were going to be walking into that game and walking out 3 points and very, very comfortable winners. But we didn't. And again, we didn't. Because we were overconfident and arrogant. And that's where I will agree with Roy Keane on the confidence and arrogant thing. That these Liverpool players probably were confident and arrogant going into this game because they didn't turn up with the right killer instinct in front of goal. It was poor. And I'm starting to worry a little bit about our attack. Like I say, I've said it time and time again in the past few weeks. Our attack is one of the most fiercest and most dangerous in the Premier League. In world football even. One of the most fiercest and dangerous attacks that we have. But in recent weeks, it's just not been clicking. I don't know what it is, but from recent weeks, it's just not been clicking to the fullest of its potential. And that may come with time. It may just all click into gear one day. And before you know it, Salah's back to scoring 2 goals every week. Darwin Núñez is chipping in with a goal and an assist every game. And Luis Diaz is back with that skill, with the flair, with the pace, with the brilliance that we know he has, that he's probably doing the same and he's chipping in with goals and assists here and there as well. But for whatever reason, our attack just isn't there. And I don't know what it is about it. But Diaz, for me, look, I feel sorry for him. The injuries that he's picked up throughout his Liverpool career have really started his career. And I feel sorry for him because he was brilliant when he first came in. Then he picked up an injury. Then he picked up another injury. Then he was back. Then he picked up another injury. And it's been a bit stop-start since then. But ultimately, we do need more from him. Darwin Núñez, I back the guy. I cannot fault his character, his determination, his heart, his desire, his work rate. I can't fault any of that. Any of the stuff that I can't quantify, I can't fault. But there comes a limit. And if you're not stepping up in these types of games, if you're not getting the goals and the assists when they matter most, that's where I have a problem. And again, today, missed a couple of decent opportunities. There's one that's obviously been going viral of where he just basically leaves the ball because he thinks he's going out for a corner rather than use his pace to actually run and create another opportunity to score a goal. And I don't even think it went out for a corner, did it? So that's really frustrating me. And Salah as well, look, he gets a little bit of a free pass because he's Mo Salah. But Jesus Christ, for the past month, this guy, he's been a little bit poor again, overall performance-wise. He's been getting a goal here and there, and obviously last week got his 200th Premier League goal, and that was fantastic, and it's phenomenal. But again, in these types of games, he really needs to be showing up. And he hasn't, and he didn't. Our midfield was hit and miss. Szoboszlai, extremely poor. Don't understand why this guy's not being rested. Don't understand why Harvey Elliott doesn't deserve a chance to start from the beginning. Weird to me. Endo was probably our best midfielder, which says a lot about the game in all honesty, that our defensive midfielder, who we put on the pitch rather than move Trent Alexander-Arnold into midfield, or even start Harvey Elliott, or whatever the case may be, whatever the scenario may be, was our best midfielder on the day. Weird to me. Absolutely weird to me that we started with Endo. In my opinion, showed United too much respect. What were United going to do with a midfield of McTominay, Mainu, and Amrabat? Absolutely nothing going forward. Why did we have to play Endo? Why couldn't we have Harvey Elliott and use Gravenberch as a makeshift DM? Weird to me. Absolutely weird to me. And defensively, look, Liverpool was solid defensively. Can't argue defensively. And in the small few things that obviously Alisson had to do, prove once again why he's the best goalkeeper in the world, because he kept his composure, kept his concentration, and obviously, like I say, didn't have a lot to do, but when it mattered most, when he was called upon, he did what he does best. Substitutions didn't really work today. Again, left it way too late with Harvey Elliott, the game changer of recent weeks. Don't understand why he left it too late. Like I say, I've said it for weeks. You can't keep playing poor and grinding out results, because eventually you will get found out. And that is exactly what happened today. We bought too much into Manchester United's game plan. We bought too much into their stop-start, stopping the momentum, time-wasting antics that they were doing. We bought too much into them, into the way that they were playing to stop our own game, to stop focus on our own game. And ultimately, it cost us going forward. Defensively, there was nothing that they were really going to do to hurt us. Yes, we obviously had to make sure we were cautious of any kind of threat in behind of Rasmus Højlund. But other than that, did they really threaten us? Not amazingly, not really. We dealt with everything that they had to offer going forward pretty comfortably, other than one or two moments. It was just our attack that was extremely poor. Our attack was extremely poor. And again, the stats back that up. The stats go on to state that we had 34 attempts on goal, something like that, 8 on target, compared to their 8, 2 on target, or something along them lines. I can't remember now off the top of my head. But it goes on to what Virgil van Dijk said at the end. And Van Dijk basically said that there was only one team in it. Only one team in it. And it seems to touch a nerve with Roy Keane. And I thought that was a little bit funny. I also think that if it was a Manchester United player saying that and the roles had been reversed, I think he would have congratulated him and basically said, you need that bit of steel. You need that bit of arrogance. You need that bit of courage and a bit of steel about you to go on and say something like that. And it's refreshing to see something so original and so different and unique to what we normally see from the usual sort of robotic, sort of very fair, very middle ground, very on the fence sort of reactions a lot of players have in these types of situations. Roy Keane seemed to actually take offence to it. And like I say, if it was a United fan, if it was a United player that said that, I think he would have said the opposite to what he'd said. And I still think that Roy Keane is still playing into this really sort of I'm a tough man, hard man sort of character on Sky, to be that kind of different personality to what Sky already present on with the likes of Jamie Carragher, Gary Neville, Mika Richards, that kind of thing. So that may be another debate for another day, but I just found it amusing that it would kind of touch a nerve with Roy Keane a little bit in that regard. And then the sending off as well. Look, the sending off. It's a second bookable offence for Dalot for dissent. Now, I've had a real issue with these dissent laws all season. I've said on numerous videos, on numerous streams, my issues with these dissent rules are that they are so hit and miss. They are so used sporadically by different and various referees across the season. And we saw it again used inconsistently here. Darwin Núñez picked up a yellow card in the first half. He then sarcastically clapped the referee afterwards. Isn't that a sign of dissent? Shouldn't he have been sent off? Seeing a second yellow? We have to call this out as Liverpool fans to show that we're not being hypocritical and, of course, that we're being fair. So I'm not just calling this out for the sake of calling it out. I'm saying it because it's fair and it's balanced. If Dalot's getting sent off for the second bookable offence for dissent, Núñez should have gone in the first half. Simple as that. But again, these dissent laws and rules are used so sporadically and so inconsistently by referees that I'm honestly not surprised Núñez managed to get away with it and Dalot didn't. And that doesn't make it right. I'm just saying that these referees, I'm not surprised by these dissent sort of laws that are used so sporadically and inconsistently, that one got away with it and one didn't. I've seen numerous times players manage to get away without getting yellow cards for similar things, whether it's brandishing the imaginary yellow, sarcastically clapping in Nunez's case, or just arguing and getting in the face of the referees. There you have it. The inconsistency is best, and Michael Oliver is once again at fault, who Howard Webb seems to claim is one of our best referees. I beg to differ. None of them are good. None of them are the best. If he is the best, Jesus Christ, that says that the rest are extremely poor. But away from the Dalot thing, away from that, United set up to play the way that they did. Bruno Fernandes's yellow card last week may have actually been a brilliant chess play by Bruno Fernandes to make sure that he didn't have to do as much running around and defensive work in this game as he probably would have liked to have done or wanted to have done. And B, it meant that Man United could have put another DM in his position to stick another man behind the ball and to grind out a 0-0 draw in this manner. So, I know it sounds salty when I say this, and I know it sounds salty when I agree with what Van Dijk was saying, and I'm not saying it in the sort of salty way that, somewhat salty way. Obviously, he was frustrated and everything, and I would be if I'd played that 90 minutes in the way that, in the manner of which it was. But, yeah, you know, I somewhat applaud United for the way that they played, because that was pretty much the only way they were going to get something from the game. They stuck to their game plan. They rode their luck at times. They got something out of the game. Fair play. That's, if anything, it's more on us. It's more on us to obviously get the game done and dusted, to get the win that we need, to get the 3 points we needed to take ourselves back to the top of the table. And then as a result of that, look, everybody wants to put us in that title race bracket. And I've always been hesitant to do that. I've always been hesitant to say, oh, we are in a title race. I've always been hesitant to say, you know, we are going to win the Premier League title, or we are going to be within the title picture. Obviously, with City hitting a weird patch of form in recent weeks, I think it's really opened up the possibility of having those types of questions now as to who is in the title race. And obviously with Aston Villa picking up some incredible form as well, don't let them go under the radar either. A big win again today against Brentford away from home, winning 2-1, coming from a goal behind to win by 2-1. Massive result if you are Aston Villa, of course. They are within the hunt as well. So with City slipping up, with Villa being up there, with Arsenal now taking over Liverpool, with Liverpool dropping points to Manchester United today, the title race is well and truly on. You maybe even could throw Spurs into the mix. I know it seems like a massive long shot, but you possibly could even throw Spurs into the mix as well. But I've always been hesitant when it's come to my club. I've always said that we'll see what the results bring, and if we're within touching distance or even on top at Christmas, and then we'll have to see what January transfer window brings. A new DM, a new right back, a new centre back. One of those three positions is desperately needed. The other two, you possibly can wait for the summer, but if you really want to sense blood and go for the kill in terms of winning silverware and maybe even winning the league title, at least two of those positions will probably need to be filled going forward, especially with Joel Matip's recent injury and the injuries starting to pile up. Ryan Gravenberch was another casualty today, so we shall see what the medical report is on him. But like I say, I've always been hesitant, and these are the kind of performances why. These are the kind of things why I'm still hesitant about Liverpool winning the title this season. These are the things why I'm hesitant about Liverpool overall this season. But I never thought I'd be including the attack, questioning the attack in that kind of bullet points of why I'm hesitant about Liverpool this season. But like I say, not played well these past few weeks. The attack's not quite clicking into gear, and dropping points to a Manchester United side we should have been absolutely destroying is just not good enough. It's just seriously not good enough. And I'm angry. I'm frustrated still. I'm not as angry as what I was and frustrated as what I was when the final whistle hit, but I'm still pretty annoyed. So, yeah. We'll have to take the point. We go away. Move on to the next game. It is what it is. We've got Arsenal next week. Arsenal. Massive game. Massive game. And we now go into that game must win. Before, if we would have won this game today, I would have said next week is must not lose. Draw would have been perfect. And who knows, maybe this result may have a different reflection on it next week. If we beat Arsenal next week, this result might not look so bad. But we need to beat Arsenal. And that is easier said than done. Those are the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I know this has been a really weird ramble, but there was quite a few things to get through. Referee performance was poor. Roy Keane's comments were weird and I think somewhat hypocritical, in my opinion, and from what I firmly believe would have happened if it was a United player saying this rather than a Liverpool player. And of course, the game itself, which was shambolic. But what do you guys think? I'd love to know what you guys think, feel, your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, on this particular subject, on Liverpool and the game that was today, a goalless stalemate with Manchester United, in the comment section down below. I'm sure you have a lot of interesting thoughts and opinions on that. Hit the like button on the way up, enjoy the video, subscribe if you're new and want to see more content like this. Both things always and forever greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video. Not so instant match reaction, whatever you want to call it. It is what it is. Come on, Liverpool. Get back to winning ways next week. Please. Please, 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 please. I'll see you all again soon in another video. Take care. God bless. See you next time.